Hi friends, it's your buddy Matt, the global ergonomist and ergo coach. Welcome to another Strong Qigong here on the Blue Ridge of beautiful western North Carolina at about peak of fall colors. Today we did a special class I called the Upsweep and Downsweep class. You've seen our live classes that are an hour long at Haywood Regional Health and Fitness Center, not far from here, or down at Funky Town Fitness in St. Augustine, Florida. We do special classes that are divided up into different routines. The upsweep and the downsweep routines are more of what we call our center stance. These are classes and formations that are within the class that emphasize different stances. And in our upsweep and downsweep class today, we did Gathering the Qi, a classic Qigong routine. We also did Cleansing the Lungs, another Qigong favorite. Then we did some Tai Chi favorite, Closing the Door and the Fountain, also known as Bathing in the Fountain. We finished up with another classic from Tai Chi known as Digging in the Garden. And as always, we started out with our sharpening the mind on the stone of the breath. It's a breath work routine. And then we finished up with blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the body, the cauldron of the mind, the cauldron of the heart. And these are ways that we mix meditation and movement together, so you get the full benefit of Strong Qigong. So consider that, and I hope you enjoy this class. Also remember to hit the like button, the notification bell, you know the drill. That's what helps us with the algorithm. So leave comments and also share with others. We always appreciate having you. We always appreciate hearing from you. And we hope you join us again and again for Strong Qigong. So as we take deep, slow, quiet, even breaths, our blood pressure slowly drops with our heart rate and our respiratory rate. And as we do that, making the breathing deep, slow, quiet, and even, we continue in that manner. Then we focus on the breath cycle itself, and we begin to extend the exhale in every breath cycle, making that exhale a little lower. That compounds the benefit. The neuroscientists call that respiratory sinus arrhythmia. Anytime we hear the word arrhythmia, we think, ooh, that's bad. No, actually, in this case, it's good, because what you're doing is tipping the scale of your automatic, which we call autonomic nervous system, towards rest and digest, the calming branch. So it's always interesting to me to consider that the ancients knew this hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. So extend every exhale, slow the breath. If you're so inclined, use this moment to begin to focus and sharpen the mind on the stone of the breath, as we say in Strong Qigong. So you use this moment, perhaps with eyes closed, to imagine a samurai sword. With every inhale, you're drawing the blade towards you and you're sharpening it across a stone. And when you get to the end of the breath cycle, you flip the blade, you push it from you with the exhale, and you coordinate this visualization with your breath cycle, flipping the blade at the end of the exhale, flipping the blade at the end of the inhale, and focusing on that flipping of the blade. You know, we call this sharpening the mind on the stone of the breath. Classic visualization and preparation for Strong Qigong. After a few more of these breaths, when you feel ready, you can invite your eyes to slowly, gently flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. As we get into our warm-ups, beginning from head to toe, always with yoga neck roll to calibrate our inner ear with our diaphragm. You take a deep breath in, the head floats like a balloon. Then as we exhale, we purse our lips and slowly let air out of the balloon as the chin drops to the chest. When we inhale again, we inhale and sweep one ear past one shoulder. We exhale as we sweep across the chest, opposite ear past opposite shoulder. We always exhale, sweeping across the chest, inhaling ear past shoulder, in a manner that gets the little otoliths, the little stones in our semicircular canals rolling around. in concert with the rise and fall of our diaphragm. And this was what we call interoception and proprioception, also known as kinesthesia, movement sense, also known as vestibular function. All these different phrases that mean the same thing, basically getting our body moving in concert with our breath. Wherever you are, this is a great place to warm up the upper respiratory sinus, and on your next exhale, you can drop your chin to your chest and inhale your chin upright. Now we're ready to work into the upper respiratory sinus. We begin to loop our shoulder blades forward and upward. With every inhale, we bring them downward and backward with every exhale, completing each loop with each breath. And as we do, we squeeze the shoulder blades together on the way down, waking up an area known as Dazhui point in the ancient Asian literature, looping with every breath. And if you'll notice, I kind of let my knees rise and fall with the movement. If you feel naturally comfortable doing that, feel free to. And we'll work our way down the upper extremities as we begin to make big loops with the elbows, sort of elbow strikes backward. And we can cross the wrists and then inhale again, bringing them back like so. Breathing deeply in concert with our breaths. You notice our wrists cross at the bottom. And on the next one, if you're comfortable doing so, you can cross wrists, palms up, and begin getting the arms involved, opening to the sky and exhaling down, rising with every inhale, falling with every exhale. Opening up the respiratory sinus, so beautifully done. And then we work our way back up the upper limbs again, and we go back into the elbow strikes. So big elbow circles. And then from elbow circles back into those shoulder rolls. So big shoulder rolls, looping forward as we inhale, squeezing downward as we exhale. Beautifully done. And from there, we work our way down and rest with our hands at the side, cross our center line, and begin to scoop and toss behind us from side to side. Scooping with palm up and tossing with palm down. The eyes follow hand and the hand follows breath. A form of windmills, a form of silk reeling. Just as we did before, we get elbows involved and we throw big elbow strikes from one side to the other, turning the trunk, shifting the weight. And then into the shoulder girdles, big looping circles with each shoulder girdle backward from side to side. This works our way down into the lower thoracic spine. And if you're turning trunk and shifting weight, you can use the momentum of that trunk turn to go into what we call Ragdoll. Simply let the hands flail from the body, use the turn in trunk to use the momentum to carry the hands from side to side. And from Ragdoll, we can go into prayer drum, also known as pellet drum. The momentum of our trunk turn lets our hands slap or tap the top of the opposite shoulder and the low back or hip, from side to side. As we breathe deeply, slowly, quietly, and evenly, we begin to slap or tap the top of the chest up by the collarbone. And after we've slapped or tapped the top of the chest, we drop down to those famous floating ribs we always talk about, down at the bottom of the rib cage. The ones closest to our lower lobes of our lungs. After we've slapped or tapped that part of the body, we drop down to the hips, slapping and tapping. Beautifully done. Now we've worked our way down into the lower half of the trunk. Our hands drift to our hips, and we begin to loop the hips, big circles, hula hoop loops, lovingly known as stirring the bowl. With Latin words like pelvis, that means bowl. It's like the bell of a wine glass. Whatever direction you chose, simply pause and begin to unwind what you've wound, looping the hips. So beautifully done. Finally, we'll invite ourselves to settle into the middle, step a little wider, a little lower, and let yourself kind of bounce a little bit. This is horse riding stance. Mabu for the Great Bear Swings. We take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we turn our trunk and drop down. And as we inhale, we turn our trunk, rise to pause, and exhale, turn trunk, drop down. Inhale, rise to pause, and rock from side to side, turning trunk, shifting weight. Beautifully done. This is the Great Bear Swings from side to side, feeling the shift in weight from one foot to the other as we cross center line. And on your next exhale, invite yourself to pause in the middle. Inhale your trunk back upright and begin to shift weight on a figure 8, rocking your little boat on your moonlit night on your beautiful Lake Junaluska right over one of these ridges. Round the corner as you change direction. Notice your 3 dantian. Stay in alignment this way, so the shoulders are right over the hips as you shift weight on a figure 8. Beautifully done. Now we can return to center. Bring your feet back into center stance, about shoulder width. Shift weight to one foot, raise the opposite heel, and loop the knee. And as you loop the knee, notice your ankle and foot follow along obediently. And after you've looped in one direction, simply loop in the opposite direction. Then take weight through that foot, raise the opposite heel, loop, and whichever direction you chose is fine. You can loop in the opposite direction. Well done. Now you can invite your center of gravity to settle within your base of support. All that's left are the palms, the wrists, the hands and forearms. Remember your Lao Gong points, that when you make a gentle fist, raise all fingers except the middle finger. Where the middle finger meets the palms is the Lao Gong point, an important energy center in Tai Chi, Qigong, and Shaolin martial arts. Use your Lao Gong points and palms to exhale down. You can soften the knees and then inhale up with every breath. Exhale, lead with the Lao Gong points. Inhale and rise. Find the rhythm of your own breath, and if you're comfortable doing so, your balance allows it, invite your eyes to close so you can use the powerful visualization we always do to start Strong Qigong. That one is known lovingly as cleansing the inner body. So as you inhale and your palms rise, you imagine, visualize a glowing mist rising from the core of the earth through the soles of the feet, through the trillions of cells of your inner body. And that glowing mist collects in your upper dantian, your mind's eye. And when you go to exhale down, that glowing mist forms a glowing cloud. That glowing cloud forms a glowing rain. And that glowing rain washes down those trillions of cells through the soles of your feet and back into the earth. So this classic visualization, the glowing mist rises with every breath. The glowing rain falls with every breath. And you cleanse the inner body, preparing for all that follows. Also washing those 3 dantian, what we call our 3 smooth river rocks, we carefully gathered, balanced, and stacked on life's river's edge. And the next time your hands rise, invite them to pause in a hugging stance at heart height. The stance we know lovingly as stand like tree. This is where we take inventory of our alignment in Strong Qigong. So with long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt downward. Now between them, our spine gently stretches with every breath. This is known as the string of pearls. As our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one, our feet are parallel in a firm, rooted stance, like a mighty oak on a mountaintop in the Blue Ridge. And as we breathe slowly and deeply and quietly, our three dantian rest peacefully as if we carefully gathered, balanced, and stacked three smooth river rocks on life's river's edge. With soft knees and soft belly, soft breath and soft gaze, or best of all, eyes closed, we feel the echoes of our warm-ups from head to toe, and we see them in our mind's eye. The yoga neck roll and the dajue rolls, the pellet drum and the stirring the bowl, the great bear swings and the windmills. We see and feel all of it course through us. As we enjoy this inner show, our hands begin the slow journey downward until thumbs cross over the belly button and the folded fingers warm just below on the cauldron of the body. And through closed eyes and pursed lips, as if blowing through a straw, we blow on the embers of the cauldron of the body. And as we do, we delight in the growing, glowing light as the embers respond. With each deep ensuing inhale, we draw the light outward and upward, and we begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart. Blowing on the embers of two of the three dantian, we enjoy the inner show as the inner galaxy fills with light and spills beyond our inner galaxy, bathing the space between us with light, warm, silken chi energy. And may your body be strong. And may your heart be calm. And if your eyes are closed, enjoy it as your hands begin to melt to your side, only inviting your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. Welcome back. We're ready to step into the center of our little boat. And the hand on this side of the screen or room makes a gentle fist that floats before the heart. The hand on this side covers it. Together, we take a deep breath in to straighten. We slowly exhale and bow to one another in a gesture of mutual respect. And as we inhale ourselves back upright in gratitude for the tradition, when we exhale, we let our hands melt down. When we inhale again, we inhale them up overhead an inch apart, and then we slowly and deliberately exhale down our center line. This is centering the chi. We do one more, and we do one in deference to the Shaolin. We bring our palms together in the Shaolin manner. We exhale only as far as the heart center, as the Shaolin do. And when we inhale, elbows rise and wrists straighten. When we exhale, hands melt down. When we're prepared, we step out into our little boat. And we always begin by softening and unlocking the knees and then inhaling the hands up an inch apart, just as we did when we were centering the chi, only this time we breathe through the movement. We inhale and rise. We exhale and fall as the knees and hands rise and fall in concert with our breath, floating and melting in what's known lovingly as sinking the chi. Now in today's Strong Qigong, we're going to explore some of the central movements we use that I call upsweep movements and downsweep movements. You'll recognize these. We've done these 1,000 times. And they're simple, but they're enjoyable. So, when your hands rise again on your next rising and in-breath, cross your wrists with gentle fists. As you exhale, just drop as low as you can comfortably, keeping your three smooth river rocks on top of one another, then do it again. And your eyes can follow your hands upward as you cross wrists with gentle fists. You know this one as embracing Yin and Yang. It's also known as gathering the chi. Beautifully done. Gathering the chi is one of our downsweep movements just like syncing the Qi. You know, we have a first series based on these. We're just going to do one or two of them. So inhale and rise. Exhale and fall. Well done. Here's another favorite coming up. The next time your hands rise, let them wind up a foot apart, and then let them glide down an invisible column. And at the bottom, let your elbows and wrists flare outward in a circular motion, and then exhale down, let them flare inward in a circular motion. And continue in this manner, rising and falling with the breath. This is a Qigong move, part of a full body cleansing routine. This one is known as cleansing the lungs. I always like to visualize the hands holding two silken cloths, polishing the inside of two Tibetan bowls, the singing bowls. And the reason this seems appropriate is because in the ancient Asian literature, metal is the element of the lungs. So this fits cleansing the lungs. Beautifully done. And on this next one, when your hands drop down, find your center and sync your Qi. Rise up and exhale down, just as we started, which is another one of our Downsweep movements in Strong Qigong. When your hands drop again, invite them to pause at the bottom. Inhale them up to heart height in front of you, and then exhale back down. You know this one as opening the door. Opening the door being a classic used in formal Tai Chi and Qigong routines to start the routine. We're using it here as a transition to go into closing the door, some of our upsweep, I should say, movements, our upsweep movements. So as your hands rise like we're doing, in a moment at the bottom, you know what's coming. I'm going to invite you to cross wrists, palms up, and trace two small circles like so. Inhale up and exhale down, and continue to trace these two small circles. Notice the crossing of the wrists. And now it's like you're polishing the outside of those two singing bowls. This is known as closing the door. And this is one of our upsweep movements we use in Strong Qigong, part of a larger routine. So follow the breath upward and follow it downward. Beautifully done. And from this classic movement of closing the door, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to drop as low as you can with the crossing of your wrists and trace big circles with the breath. So when you're ready, drop down and then inhale up, exhale out and down, and continue in this manner. As high as you can reach, as low as you can go, keeping your three smooth river rocks resting peacefully on one another. This is a classic Tai Chi move known as the fountain, also sometimes called bathing in the fountain, as if we're standing in crystal clear water about knee deep, and we're scooping it up with our hands and we're throwing it up into the sky, and dropping down again. Bathing in the fountain. Classic Tai Chi move. And in Strong Qigong, you see how we blend Qigong moves with Tai Chi moves, with Shaolin Kung Fu moves. We breathe through every movement. Beautifully done. Now, in a moment, when your hands drop again, invite them to pause and sync your Qi. Rise with the breath and fall with the breath. Continue to float and melt with every breath. Beautifully done. We'll do one more of our downsweep movements. It's actually kind of a combination of downsweep and upsweep. And it's one of our favorites, a classic in Tai Chi. known as digging in the garden. Now, before we do, remember your Lao Gong points. Remember those points in your palms, that they meet each other, about 6-8 inches apart, whatever you feel comfortable with. And you begin to grasp this invisible ball. Your eyes follow them upward, and when you feel ready, you can do so. You reach upward with the inhale. As you exhale, drop as low as you can comfortably, scoop outward and inhale upward. And then exhale downward, holding this ball between your Lao Gong points. This is digging in the garden in Tai Chi. Beautifully done. Now, one of the ways we like to bring this to its suitable close is in a moment, I'm going to ask you to not drop as low, even though right now we're reaching as high as we can and we're dropping as low as we can go, keeping our 3 smooth river rocks resting peacefully on one another. The next time your hands drop, invite them to pause in your lap and begin to loop them back towards your heart in a smaller circle. Now this beach ball size circle we're doing now, inhaling to the heart, exhaling, pushing and rising. This is known as draw back and push. And draw back and push has an interesting element to it that we're doing each time. If you'll notice, as you inhale towards your heart, you pass through the hugging and standing like tree movement, so you know where this is going. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause in that posture and we'll wrap things up. So when you feel ready on your next inhale and rise towards your heart, invite your hands to pause at heart height and stand like tree. So with long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders, our heavy tail melt downward, and between them, our spine gently stretches with every breath in what's lovingly known as the string of pearls. Our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging that long-lost loved one. Our feet are parallel in a firm, rooted stance like a mighty oak, standing atop a mountain here in the beautiful Blue Ridge of western North Carolina. Our 3 smooth river rocks rest peacefully, as if we carefully, selectively gathered, balanced and stacked 3 smooth river rocks on life's river's edge. And with soft knees and soft belly, soft breath and soft gaze, but best of all, eyes closed, we feel and see the echoes in our mind's eye of gathering the chi and cleansing the lung, closing the door and bathing in the fountain, digging in the garden and draw back and push. We see and feel all these movements coursing through us in the beautiful inward show delivered by our upper dantian, the mind's eye. And as we do so, we begin to invite our hands to melt down for the final journey, crossing the thumbs over the belly button, folded fingers resume warming on the cauldron of the body. And through closed eyes and pursed lips, as if blowing through a straw, we blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart and the cauldron of the body again. We fill the inner galaxy with light, and we draw the light upward and outward. And now we get to show our gratitude to the cauldron of the mind, the upper dantian. We blow on the embers of the cauldron of the mind, enjoying the beautiful inward show with our own visualization, imagination, concentration, and meditation. As we blow on the embers of all 3 cauldron, we fill the inner galaxy with the brightest light yet. It spills beyond our inner galaxy. It bathes the space between us. It spills beyond the space between us. It bathes the world around us. It spills beyond the world around us and it bathes life itself with light, warm, sweet, friendly, silken chi energy. May your body stay strong. May your heart stay calm. And may your mind stay sharp. And may your spirit stay free. Yidao Qidao means where the mind goes, chi follows. Where intention goes, energy flows. So please, choose wisely, choose carefully, choose peacefully. And if eyes are still closed, enjoy it a moment longer as your hands melt to your side, only inviting your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. Welcome back. We step back into the center of our little boat and very slowly and deliberately inhale the hands up till they're an inch apart. Just as slowly and deliberately exhale down, centering your chi one final time as promised. So the hand on this side of the room or screen can make the fist. The hand on this side can cover it. Together, we can take a deep breath in to straighten. So we slowly exhale and bow in a gesture of mutual respect. And you give yourselves a round of applause for being the light you've made in the world today. Thank you.